Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Empressive
Oh,
channel.
she
So,
looks so
congratulations
pretty.
are in order to Jordyn Woods and her NBA player
All right,
husband, Carl
Jordyn
Anthony
Woods.
Towns. They got married recently. They dropped the wedding photos and everything. They both looked nice. I actually liked
Yes,
Jordan's
they
dress.
both
Even though it was
do.
simple, it was still classic. She looked really
Yeah,
beautiful. And the wedding was packed with stars. The Smith family was there.
of
Michael B.
course.
Jordan was there. Tiana Taylor, Justin Bieber, Haley
Wow.
Bieber, Timothy
Wait, what?
Chalamet. Ben Stiller was there. Gail King
I
was there. And
mean,
Kylie Jenner was
okay,
there
I,
too.
I,
Kylie and
I gotta say this. With these celebrity weddings, it's kind of seem like it's not even about. I don't know how to put this, but it's like the who's who. I think it's how it's said. It's like it's not anything intimate. It's like to me, I think for my wedding, I would want the people around that love me, my husband or husband to be. I would want people that I talk to every day, every other day, a few times a week, or something like this, or something like that. I mean, a lot of times these people don't even be, it's like they not even on the level of being a friend. They're just someone that, hey, you make small talk with or something like that. And I don't get that. And I'm trying not to be judgy, but it's like you not hanging around and talking to all these people every day, every other day, every week. You're not doing it. And to me, it's like, I wouldn't want that. Like, because you, even when you have a big family, you don't be talking to all your family members like that. You don't. You see them at the get together. So I don't get that. I just find it hard to believe when famous people are inviting all of these other famous people. I just find it hard to believe that you have time for everyone. And I just feel like a wedding is such a special day that it should be with people that love you, love your guy. I just want you to be together. And I know people that you're not close to can be wishing you well, sending good vibes your way, but just, I just feel like, and this is my opinion, I just feel like it should be small and intimate, just a few people, and you can still wear the big, beautiful dress, but I just feel like small and intimate. And it can be in a fancy place, expensive, but just, yeah.
there. Gail King was there. And Kylie Jenner was there too. Kylie and Jordan did rekindle their friendship after Jordan fell out with the whole Kardashian Jenner family. So Kylie was
Not the
there, but she
whole
was sitting off
thing.
to the side. She wasn't a bridesmaid or anything. So I found that to be interesting. It kind of shows me that even though they are friends, they're not as close as they once were because
I
she's not.
don't know. I don't think after something like that, I don't think you will ever be close to someone. You know, I, again, not after that. No.
Friends, they're not as close as they once were because she's not really in the inner circle like that. Like Jordan's real friend group is right here. These are her real friends that people don't
They
talk about.
are
They were in the wedding
gorgeous.
party along with her sister Jody, of course, but Kylie was not a part of it.
Jordan said she gonna start hanging around her some. I ain't gonna say. No, I'm gonna say Jordan said she gonna start hanging around her some black friends. She probably was. I'm not gonna, she probably was hanging around a lot of black women back then too, but now I'm just saying.
Here. These are her real friends that people don't talk about. They were in the wedding party along with her sister Jody, of course, but Kylie was not a part of it, you know? But yeah, it seemed like the ceremony was nice. Everybody looked amazing. Congratulations once again to Jordyn Woods and her husband, Carl Anthony Towns. Now, I do want to briefly talk about Nic and Olandria from Love Island being at the wedding too. Now, Olandria is actually cool with Jordyn. A lot of people didn't know. She was invited to the wedding along with Nic, and this did kind of spark a
See,
lot of conversation.
this is what I'm trying not to judge, but this is what I'm saying, and I don't know the story. I don't know the story. I'm assuming, oh, she got this woman right here. She got famous a little bit. Well, not a little bit, a lot of bit. And then they probably ran into each other at an event. I don't think I had. I'm just gonna say, sometimes you don't have to invite everyone, especially when you are not around them. Just because you talk to somebody, you're friendly with somebody or to someone, doesn't mean that they come to your wedding. I get people do what they want to do, but it's like I don't. I just like we would have to have gone through something like for real, like really, not something where I got famous. We met a few times and now you here. I'm assuming they probably talked a little bit more than that. But when is it where when does it become a point when you are celebrating love into and where it gets to the point where it's like you putting on a show. And I like Jordyn Woods, but it's just at a point, and I'm not talking about just her. I'm talking about everyone. All these people inviting, when people inviting 150 people, 250 people, 350 people, all that 300, because some that just seems like the magic number. I'm talking about stuff like that because I have a big family. We don't be, not into it with anyone, but we don't be around each other all the time. And so we don't always get, go to the wedding. Maybe that's weird to some of you, but it's like, well, I don't, hey, cuz I ain't talked to you since we was at that get together 2 years ago. So I wouldn't expect it. It come back where you will hear, oh, such and such got married. Oh, congrats to her or him. It's just life. And I guess, and I don't feel bad about that because I kind of agree with, like, if I ain't, you know, if I'm not really talking to you that much and, that close friend, it is what it is. And again, get along with family. But I'm not going to freak out when I don't go to a wedding and I hadn't seen that family member in a year or two, some even longer. Because, people living their own lives. I'm just saying.
She was invited to the wedding along with Nic. And this did kind of spark a lot of conversation because Nic and Olandria were supposed to have broken up. People announced that they broke up some weeks back. So it's interesting to see them together again. Now, I think Nic and
Maybe they
Olandria are
got
playing
back
with people,
together,
to be
or
honest.
maybe they
Whether
just
or
get
not they're actually
along. Is
together, I
any
do think at the very
anything
least they
on
are
bad note?
friends. And they know the type of engagement they get when they're together. So they're definitely going to take advantage of that. And I suspect that this won't be the last time we see them out together publicly. But that's kind of a flex that they both were invited to an A-list wedding. Like, and it's all thanks to Olandria's connection with Jordyn. Like, Olandria's a star. I'm telling you, that girl She knows how to network and she's made her way into some big circles. Shout out to her. Also, shout out to the Love Island Season 8 winner, Trinity Tatum.
Yeah, I
Trinity
don't know
just
much
booked
about her.
her first
I
major
know it's
commercial
what
with
Love Island.
Verizon. And I'm happy for her. I feel like Trinity is going to do big things. She definitely gives it girl energy, just like Olandria. So I'm excited to see what she does next. I also want to briefly talk about the Afro pop star AYRA Starr. She just dropped her album
I
Star
haven't
Girl not
heard
too
of
long
her.
ago, and I got a chance to listen to it, and I really do like this album. The production was amazing from beginning to end. It
Oh,
had a
that's
fusion of
good.
different genres from Afrobeat to dance to
Oh,
R&B pop.
okay.
One of her
I may
songs,
have to
Miss
check it
Paper, is
out.
a bouillon song, which is a popular genre that originated in Caribbean islands like Dominica. So with this album, she definitely is trying to reach out to a lot of audiences. She has a song with Zayn from One Direction called Heaven Baby. That song is picking up a lot. I think this might be the breakout song from her album. I kind of wished her song Hot Body took off because really
Zayn had the song, or was it Taylor Swift song? I don't know. I don't recall who it was, but oh my goodness, that song, I can't think of the name of it. But Taylor Swift, Zayn, oh my goodness. I remember listening to that song on repeat. Let me see, can I look it up right quick? But I remember my playlist.
from her album. I kind of wished her song Hot Body took off because really that's one of my favorite songs on the album. But Heaven Baby is a nice ballad that people like, so I think this will do really well. But yeah, overall, she put together a good body of work. I think both Ira and Tyler are representing well for the whole Afro pop movement. Now, moving on, I want to talk about Beyonce because recently there have been some old clips that surfaced of Beyonce and it had a lot of people talking. Now, Beyonce admitted that she didn't listen to country music, even though she went on to do a country album and she had a whole campaign saying that she's been country.
You grew up in Texas, because when I think about Texas, I think about country music. Was that was that around you?
We might have more country stations in other places, but I don't listen to country.
Now, a lot of country music fans were calling Beyonce out on this. They never liked the idea.
Oh, the name of the song is I Don't Want to Live Forever. Yeah, I don't want to live forever. Oh my goodness, I remember listening to this Zayn and Taylor Swift song over and over, and it was for 50 Shades Darker soundtrack. Okay, I want to talk about Beyonce right quick. Especially since she's a Southern woman. A lot of times with black women, a lot of times, or with black people in general, let's just be real. A lot of times, it's shame that comes with wanting to admit that, like country music, because family will kind of mock you and be like, "You weird, you corny." So when somebody say that, you like no. And I think especially when you younger, and then as you grow up, you kind of like, you know what, I like it. Oh well, I like Shania Twain. I like that Leanne rhyme song. I don't want to. How can I live without you, or whatever the name of it? It's like you kind of get out of stuff, but it's more. But that's goes on in a black community too. That they not claiming that country music. They not claiming that. It's some movies and shows too. They probably won't claim. Then later on, you'll find out they used to watch Friends. I never would. But I'm just saying that could be it with Beyonce. Was younger and it was kind of like I ain't no claim that I like. I'm not claiming that I like some country. I ain't gonna tell them. I was listening to. Are you American Tower? I'm not gonna say nothing about that. I ain't gonna say nothing. Why I be listening to Dolly Parton or whatever her name is, and listen to working 9 to 5. Jolene, I ain't gonna say nothing about that. And that be the thing. Some don't even wanna too much, claim that it's like a whole thing. Some don't even want to say that they listen to some white, you know, white singers, and it's a whole thing. It's kind of like that. Again, that may not be Beyonce's reason, but you can't always assume she's lying about something in a malicious way, or just it could be shame, being younger, being shamed, not wanting to admit it. You grow up and you get to the point where if I want to listen to Ache It Break It Heart, I'm going to listen. I don't care what nobody's got to say. If I want to put on, um, I remember someone, I can't think of this song. It was a theme song, and they was listening to it. I can't think what it was. They were just blasting it. And I was like, oh. And they were like, showed it. I was like, they got up and got older, and then, they like, they didn't care no more. And I guess that's how it is. You get to an age where I guess you don't care anymore, because people don't talk.
Country music fans were calling Beyonce out on this. They never liked the idea of Beyonce transitioning to country in the first place because they felt like she wasn't being authentic. And now they're pulling up this interview and saying, see, look, she's always been a fraud, basically. Now, just because Beyonce didn't grow up listening to country doesn't mean that she didn't grow to at least appreciate it, because she did record a country song called Daddy's Lessons for her album Lemonade, and she performed that song at the CMAs with the Dixie Chicks, but she got a lot of backlash for it, and they basically made her feel like she.
Oh, I like the Biscuit Chicks. I think they changed their name, right? I mean, the Chicks now, but it was not ready to make nice. I think that's the name of it.
Dixie Chicks, but she got a lot of backlash for it, and they basically made her feel like she didn't belong in their genre. And so I think Beyonce took that to heart, and she made Cowboy Carter as a way to rebel against the country music industry. It was a statement to let those people know that, hey, I do belong in this genre. Black people made this genre, and I'm going to reclaim it. And her album Cowboy Carter ended up winning Album of the Year at the Grammys. So she accomplished her goal, and a lot of people are upset by it. But listen, if Post Malone and Miley Cyrus can benefit off the hip hop genre that they didn't grow up in, she could benefit from country as well. So that's the way I look at it. Also, there was another video that surfaced that had a lot of people concerned, and it was an old video of Beyonce, who was 19 years old at the time, sitting on the filmmaker Mark Schaffel's lap. Now, in this video, Beyonce was on the phone with Michael Jackson. They were talking about music. Michael was trying to do a music collaboration with multiple artists.
I remember hearing that Michael Jackson had a big crush on her, like he wanted to be with her.
And Beyonce was so excited that her guard was down, and this creepy man had her sit on his lap.
All right, here we go. Come on over here. Here, you can do. You want to sit on? You want to make this easier? You can sit on my lap. Michael. Michael.
This was very inappropriate. I didn't like this at all, especially after finding out that Mark actually worked in the adult entertainment industry. So that makes things look even more sinister. And I don't know where Beyonce's parents were, but this was inappropriate. And what's interesting is Michael actually fired Mark after learning that he directed adult films. So this documentary never came out. And right now, Mark is shopping it around, and he's using Beyonce to promote it. So now you have blogs posting this old footage of Beyonce sitting on this man's lap. And it's creating a lot of conversations and theories about Beyonce and what she may have went through behind the scenes, because a lot of young people unfortunately become prey to Hollywood predators. Some of them find themselves in compromising situations and they get filmed without knowing, and some of them get taken advantage of. It happened to the late actress Hayden Panettiere, God rest her soul.
I I'm gonna say it, and I said it in one of my other videos. I find it funny, not funny, ha ha ha. I find it strange that she, I need to pause that on the good frame. That she came out about what happened, I think back in May of this year, her being 18, 19 on this yacht, this older British superstar was waiting, laying out on this bed undressed, and a woman that she thought was her protector and all this and that. And you can't even really trust because some women be down for stuff like that and they not a protector. Anyway, and she freaked out and she ran out. I think she did like some podcasts or interviews. I didn't watch it. I remember thinking I'm gonna go back to it. I think, yeah, I just find it strange that I really want to say that was May. So now June, July, August, 3 months later, she's unalive. And that's the thing about stuff like this when you have additions. Oh, we can just get get and she could have passed away like from overdose, but overdose that OD that she caused, she could have passed away because that. But I just find it suspicious because it's a good way to get away with it. Oh, this person did stuff, but she's supposed to be getting clean, and well, people do relapse. But she's supposed to be clean, doing good. I just find it strange. And I remember, I don't want to hold you guys, but I remember when Nick Carter was saying he was posting stuff, not Nick, Aaron Carter was posting stuff about Nick from Backstreet Boys. He was posting this stuff about the women, what the women were saying, allegedly, and all that, and then he did stuff. All of a sudden, he ended up, and he was ready to speak out. And that's the thing about her. She kept her mouth, Hayden kept her mouth closed for what, 15 plus years? And then when she finally said something about what happened when she was a teenager, this is what happened. Because she was 36 when she passed away. Or, yeah. And she was 18 when that happened. And right when she finally said something, oh, this happened. And I remember that when Eric Carter was ready to speak out and say stuff. He was tired of the BS. He was tired of the lies and covering allegedly. And then all of a sudden, stuff happened with him. I don't remember like the full story, but I think even with him, because he did do DRUGS, that played a part in his demise or being supposed to be there. I think that's how it was, because I'm not even sure, because I'm thinking about a bathtub. Was that involved, or if I'm getting that mixed up with someone else? I don't know. But even I just find it strange when people start speaking out, or they're getting this courage to speak up and say things, and they tired of it because it's been eating them up, and they just want to let it out and help others. Something happened to them, allegedly. And again, it could have just been their time. Oh, and that's not nice to say, but I'm not being mean, but I'm just saying we are gonna pass away someday. But yeah.
But before she passed away, she talked about being preyed upon in Hollywood.
When you write about this in the book, you write about a moment in your career where a friend of yours takes you onto a boat you're led to a room which has an older man in it, and then basically told to perform sexual acts, and
Oh, yeah. I mean, the fact that I was 18, even though I'd lived such a huge life and I thought I was oh so mature, I wasn't capable of being fully aware of what was going on around me. That moment shook me, and I was quite literally walked down, and I had been having a
Her mom was her manager, I believe. You would think, like, as a older woman, you would think that she would be telling her, "Hey, watch out for this," and stuff. Because there's a lot of lovely women who are older. They got here longer, and it's like we young. We don't really be knowing what's going on. Somebody say they love us. Sometimes we'll believe it, right? When you're young, you tend to believe it. Oh, soulmate, that weird stuff, all that the weird stuff, creepy guys will do, or F boys, or whatever you want to call it. Either way, it goes so creepy. Um, but a lot of times, and I guess sometimes you don't want to listen, but her and her mom didn't really get along. But it's like her mom was her manager. You just would think that she would have been like, "Hey, I'm gonna make sure I'm around." But I know you can't always be around as a parent. I get that. I get it.
great time. There was no hints of anything like that.
This
I was
Nashville.
shocked. It
I
took me by
used to watch
surprise.
that series.
And it
was
was
good,
somebody
and
led by
then it
somebody that
started
I had grown to trust and
changing
see as
after
a protector and somebody who had my back.
Honey Brittany
And to be walked
character was
down, and it was this
unalived
very
off the
small
show.
room, and she physically put me in the
I
bed
think that was her
next
name.
to this undressed man who was very famous, and had his hands like this, like this was just an average day for him. This is something that happens all the
Yeah,
time.
he's used to
And I
getting what he
waited for her
want.
to leave, and I
He wanted you, and he thought
became
he was gonna get you.
ferocious. I was like, this is not happening. And I bolted, and I hid wherever I could think of to hide on a boat. There was nobody who was going to be empathetic to my situation, that this was nothing new to them.
This is sad. Hayden's story is so sad. Rest in peace to her. But yeah, these
Yes,
old controversial clips
definitely
of
ready.
Beyonce resurfacing is
You know what? On Real Housewives, uh, Beverly Hills, there was this woman that came on there, and I think her name's Diane Jenkins. And I think it's this book that came out, and then the ladies started saying something about how it was years ago, by the way, if anyone want to look it up. You can go to Peacock, I guess. But it was coming out that she was allegedly a madam, and she would go and get these young women like Hayden, who was 18, and some would, I think, allegedly was even younger. And I can't recall was Lindsay Lohan part of that, but she would go allegedly pretend to be friends with these young women are who are trusting her, and thinking they're friends and that she's cool and she's watching out. And I think it played out on it. Some of it played out on Beverly Hills Wives. It played out Housewives. It played out where Diane was doing this, and Diane's supposed to be. I think she's supposed to be soon. I don't even think that ever went through. I don't think she ever did. I don't know. Maybe she did. But I believe it's been so long. I believe they said Hayden's name, or they said or they said something in a way where you would know who she is, you know, if you know her movies or TV shows or something. Don't hold me to it because it's been years, but it was definitely I I believe she was one of those women or young, very young women that they were talking about, that Diane Jenkins. So I think the woman who did this that Hayden was talking about is Diane Jenkins. Allegedly, allegedly. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Creating a lot of discussion, and the timing of it all is interesting too. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with the Carters, but it seems like their protection in the media is diminishing. But anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down